Hi everybody, I'm interviewing now Jayne from Black Wallaby Wines. Is that the correct name?
That is correct, yes.
Beautiful. I do want to introduce yourself and basically just talk about how you came into the course and what you were hoping to find in it.
Yeah, my name is Jayne Lawson and I'm from Bridgewater in Victoria, Central Victoria. And we have a small family owned and run winery and vineyard. So I'm very passionate about agriculture and the land. And I suppose my expertise is actually in education. So I came into the course because I needed to grow in and expand my networking skills, my branding skills, and marketing mostly, obviously, because I hadn't really done anything like that before. And I knew that you were very good at what you did. I knew Melissa was excellent and an expert in her industry. Just love the idea about the connection marketing side of it. And I think that part really resonates with our brand and what we're trying to do as a family here and how we're trying to stand out from the millions of other wine labels that are out there.
Well, thank you for sharing that too. And I was so excited when you came on board because because you run a winery and everyone's so incredibly interested in that whole kind of scene. But I just know how competitive and tough it is in your industry. And like you guys are ultimately farmers. Like you might own a winery, but you're farmers. And we're in the middle of droughts and then we're in the middle of floods. And then we have bushfires, you got everything sort of thrown at you. So what kind of marketing were you doing before you started the course? And then kind of you got into the course and then what have you done since then? Because that's going to be really interesting if we can sort of map that journey out.
Yeah, I was totally winging it. So obviously, not born into the social media time realm, I guess, a little bit older than that. So, but did pick it up in my early 20s. So I had a little bit of experience with Facebook and Instagram down the track as well. But I guess that's really all I was using. And yeah, we were trying to build a website and things like that. And we've played around with that a fair bit, but that's about all we had done before I started on this course. So since then, though, I have been blogging and building my emailing list so that I can get that sorted. Working to attract more people through Google to our page, which is been very successful. That's been really going well. But also, I think my posts and things that I'm putting and the quality of what I'm putting now onto social media is so much better. I think before I really thought what I needed to do as a business was to make it all about the business and all about the grapes, for example. So I was always constantly outside taking photos of the weather and the river and the vineyard, which is great. But it was funny because on those odd days, I did take photos and pop them up of my daughters who are very involved in the business as well. And that's our story with them being, we name our labels after them and things like that. So when I started doing things like that, I was getting a lot more traction and a lot more interest, which was good. So that's what started making me think, oh, people want to see a bit more personal sorts of things as well. But prior to that, I didn't think people would want to see that. I thought it was a little bit unprofessional. So I guess that probably it stems back to my roots of within the, the professional industry that I'm in, prior to this, that, yeah, you kind of keep the personal and the professional a little bit separate. So yeah, it's been great to be able to mesh the two, and it actually makes it so much easier, which is great.
That's so, thank you for sharing that. And that's so cool because, and I sort of knew that a little bit about your brand before. I just knew you were going to be a beautiful marriage with connection marketing and what you do, because you just sort of touched on before, you have such interesting stories. And that's probably what you guys have over really large wineries, is that your story is far more personal, far more engaging. And so when you go to expos, or I don't know what you call them, when you go face to face and do things with people, you were doing it there, you're doing the whole personal branding thing there, but you weren't doing that online.
That's exactly right. And I think where we really noticed it once was we had a lady come up to us at a wine festival towards the end of last year who had been at the one at the beginning of the year. And she came straight over to Dave and I and was just straight away, she was talking to us like she'd known us forever. And she was saying, oh, you know, I met you guys at the Easter Festival, wine festival, and it was amazing. And it was so great to get to chat to you. And I love that you call your wines after your girls. And I'm here to buy more. And I just love you guys. And I was like, oh, wow. It just really took me by surprise, actually, because I thought, oh, you know, this is working. This is working, bringing the kids in and making it really personal and making it about the family.
That's so gorgeous. And that's what other comments have been about from other people who finished the course too. They actually started, and you've always loved your business. You've had no problems with confidence in your business, but like, have you found your attitude towards it has changed a little bit? Now that you're marketing more sort of intensely personal and you're looking for stories every day within yourselves rather than just in the products, have you sort of found there's a change in your own psyche around your own business?
Yes, absolutely. I think about every post before I post it, in that, you know, am I connecting? Am I being real? You know, we even need to share the ugly bits. A really great example of that was the other day when I took the photo of the rainwater tank and the pipe had flung off the top of the tank and Dave was trying to get it on. We've got no water, and you know, and Dave's going, don't take a photo of this, you know, it's embarrassing. But it's the reality of it. It's the reality of agriculture all across the country. And I think everybody, the whole world knows really what's going on over here between the droughts and the fire and things. So for him, it's been a little bit tricky because he's got to shift that way too. He's trusting me a lot, which is great. But yeah, I'm more inclined to take snapshots of the ugly bits now, and you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as they say. So I feel like it has shifted from that perspective, and also perhaps I've got a voice as well that I can. Women in agriculture. I've actually been invited to go to an expo for that in a couple of weeks, which was very out of the blue as well. And I think that's all come from the work that I've been doing, you know, through the marketing in the last sort of couple of months as well, which has been amazing because I didn't realize anyone even knew it was me doing it. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. That I didn't know that. That really makes me, because that was going to be my next question is, have you seen any sort of tangible results from the way that you've changed your marketing up now? Because you've only just finished the course. So, you know, really it's only been about 3 months since you started the course, let alone finished it. So that's one positive thing. Have you seen any other sort of positive things to come out of it?
Yes, we've got a lot more traction to the website, which has been fantastic. I've had some really good feedback on it. So increased followers as well on social media has been really great too. So, and interaction with, you know, the posts and things, lots of posting a lot more about the way we help our community as well. Like we are in a really little rural community, for example. We're just major sponsors of the Bridgewater Triathlon and things like that. So being able to, and then we, you know, started this whole event of a local fitters local business, and we won wine bottle trophy. And I mean, this was really important to me that we won it the first time.
Yes.
So because for me it was like, I need to brand this. So yeah, those sorts of things. So I think, yeah, and just being better organized and having plans and targets and goals and all of those things has just been, those results have come from those things, which has been awesome.
That's so awesome. So do you feel like you've got a lot more direction now and you're a lot more focused and you know where to channel your activities in your marketing?
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%, absolutely. Yeah, I was really kind of like a duck treading water really before. Now I can, even when life, you know, gets in the way or something changes within the household or something, I can just go directly to my plan and go, I can't even think about what to do today, and then just go, I don't need to because I've already done that. I've done the hard work. I just go to my plans, have a look, easy. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm posting. And so that's made it just fantastic.
Oh, that's oh God, that's so good to hear that. Because why don't you share? I mean, you've got some pretty serious commitments, you know, outside of your business. Like, how many kids have you got?
Uh, 3 of my own and just looking after my nephew this year. So 4 this year.
Exactly. And they're all under what age?
6 or 6 and under. Yeah.
Exactly.
Busy.
And you're an operating farm. How did you find the time? I would love you to share with that. you must have really pulled some maneuvers to find the time to get this course done, because I'm not even going to pretend can be a gutsy course, can't it?
I actually found it really therapeutic and really nice. I just set myself up with a really nice warm cup of herbal tea, and just really, because I felt all the way along this that I'm giving back to myself by doing this course. It's not just about the business, but it's about me taking a lead role, and a really important part, and a very important part, as it turns out. We hadn't had a chance to sit down and set some really solid goals, and go back to the roots of why we're doing what we're doing for a really long time. So I loved that part. That first module was so wonderful. When we would sit on I was so excited to sit down and show him what I'd done and what I'd learnt and what I was thinking, and just to double check that he was on the same page and we're going in the same direction. And so that was wonderful. That was a really unexpected connection that I got out of this course, actually.
That's so cool. And because that was like connecting back to yourself and connecting back to your business and your business partner, who just happens to be your husband. But just for people watching this, so the first module is all about you know, why you do it, your values and your purpose and your mission statement, and like it was just and your brand statement. Like it's such a personal exploration, and a lot of business owners don't do that, and they just rush into all the activities, and then they wonder why they don't work. It's because they don't actually have that core understanding of what it is that makes the heart and soul of their business.
Yeah, and I found that I would refer back to that first module nearly every module after that, because I had set it there already. So I was able to just have that beside me and then work from that. So even if I got a little bit stuck on something, I could, sort of continue on a bit, but then come back, refer back to the other notes, and that would make it a bit easier. So being able to sit down and say, and not just the social media plan, but also the 90-day action plan, and to set out some really solid goals of what I'd like to achieve, and then be able to work towards those, and have some direction. So I got so much from that part of the course too. I loved it.
So what else do you sort of see as the next 12 months for you guys, following on from what you've learned over the past 3 months with us?
Well, really, I suppose what I need to do is continue to work a little bit more on our website, and to fix up those bits and pieces that have been sort of pointed out to me, which has been really great. And again, had they not been pointed out, like, it just would have stayed like that. So it needs to be user friendly. So that's probably one of my big ones, is to do that, and to build my VIPs, I guess, and things like that. And it's been quite great, because as I've been going along through the course, things have been coming into my mind, like, oh, at Christmas time, we need to do this, this, and this leading into it. And, to establish that connection again, and to let the people know that buy from us regularly, how important they are and how much we value them. And, that at the end of the day, we're just a small business, and they're helping us put food on our table for our family, and and helping my kids be able to go to dance lessons and things like that. Like, so I think having that connection, and knowing that it's going back into local people's homes and pockets is really important, particularly in our wine industry that seems to be very slowly but surely becoming quite dominated by an international market, and international people coming in and buying up wineries and things like that. So not that that's a bad thing, but it's just a great thing to keep that boutique style happening as well. So we've got a bit of both. So
absolutely. And your message isn't just, oh, buy from us because we're boutique. Like you're taking your message to a whole other level,
Yes.
much more.
Trying to.
Yeah. So you're differentiating yourself from all the other boutiques, whereas they're just saying, oh, we're boutique. Your message is so much bigger than that.
Yeah. And I think building it up so the girls are a part of it, actively a part of it all the time. And they're a part of the agricultural side of it. So they're a part of obviously we name the wines after the girls, but they're not selling it for us, or not yet anyway, not doing any of those things. They're too little. But they have been to a few wine festivals with us, crawling under the tables, and I'm having a small conniption, thinking this is terrible. This is very unprofessional. And everybody that comes up loves it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, which one's that? Which one's this?" Like,
family business, like keeping it really real.
That's right. Yeah. So that probably going forward is doing more of those things. and, you know, having some I'd like to get a family photo shoot of all of us, and a few more professional things happening with the girls, and, you know, in the farm, and our dogs, and everything that we do here, because we're all about ethical farming and that. So that's a huge direction I want to go in as well. And a lot of great feedback I've had has been about the ethical farming side of agriculture, and how it's become a really important thing to a lot of the average everyday Australians. And so that is definitely something that Dave and I can, because we are doing that. We just probably haven't been promoting ourselves. That I mean, it's on our website, but we haven't been actively sort of going out of our way to push that message.
Yeah.
That is the message we should be pushing. And again, I've learnt that through here, because I would never have probably had the confidence to ask people what they want to hear and what we should be doing, and things like that. It just wouldn't have occurred to me to do it, really, or maybe a little bit frightened of what the feedback might be. But now I understand it always comes from a good place when someone you trust gives that information back to you.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Did you want to add anything else? So I've picked your brains, I reckon. But is there anything else you wanted to add, just about the course, or about something that you feel like you just need to say, or is it all cool?
I'm just looking at I've just did a little bit of organising before I came on. I'm looking at my notes here, just seeing if I've gone through it. Like, I just jotted a few dot points down so I didn't get stuck. But yeah, I just think probably one of the big things is how important it's been to put time into this part of the business. I think when I very first started doing this course with you, I think you mentioned that 80% of our time needs to be spent on the marketing and, you know, for lack of a better word, sales, you know, the marketing side of things, and
that's right. If
connecting,
you're really
and
serious about growing your business,
yes, yeah. And so I suppose for us, we'd just been going along thinking, oh, we're doing okay, until we got that statistic. And sometimes numbers is a good way to, it's a bit of a wake up call, because you think to yourself, oh, I'm definitely not spending 80% of my time doing it. So knowing that we've got to put more into it, and we've got to invest more into it, and then having the course to do following on from that has been great, because I feel like that would have been really overwhelming to get that fact, and then, or, you know, that number, and then think, oh, like, I'm not doing that and I don't even know where to start. So this has been wonderful, this course. And as I said, this is not my area of expertise. So throughout the course, I've realized that I can do this myself. I can work on my website, I can blog, I can do videos, I can do these social media posts, and I can manage it all. And that's probably been such a wonderful epiphany through the whole thing, and the opportunity to break it down into, you know, 90 days or a month, or even week by week, so that it's achievable and it's not overwhelming with all the other daily things that go on, you know, in your life. That's been really, I've loved it.
Thank you. I'm so glad you finished on that. Yeah, so just to clarify that's 80%. If you're really serious about growing your business and your revenue's under $1 million, you need to spend 80% of your time on sales and marketing, because that's your core job. So Dave's out there, he's doing the, you know, the growing of, God knows what you guys do, making doing all that, the farming. And so your time, as you just said before, like, you realize, this is my purpose. You're creating the connections and you're doing all of those marketing activities. And this is like, serious growth comes from here. You know, so he's doing the execution, but you're doing the brain stuff, and we're creating those relationships and managing them, and creating the databases and all of the communication pieces out there, which brings the people to you guys. So it's critical, you know, and it's so wonderful that you found that connection to yourself, and that's your role. That's so cool.
Yeah, it has. It's been great, and he's really happy for me to take it on.
So well done.
Yes, yeah, he totally sees the value in it, and having worked in so many other, you know, companies before as well, he has seen companies that do marketing and sales really, really well, and those that don't do it so well, and then those that don't really do it at all. And like you said, I mean, anyone can grow the grapes, anyone can really make the wine. You know, you can self-teach yourself to do that. It might be a bit dodgy, but you can do it. But the selling, the marketing and the brand building, and then being able to, as you say, build the relationship and then sell on from that, it really,
over time, you know.
Well, that's what he says, like, anyone can make it, but can you sell it? So you can have all this stock in the back cupboards, you know, with storage sheds, but if you can't move that stock, then you don't have a business.
Thank you, Jayne.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Melissa. I've loved it.